So without further ado, let me introduce to you our guest this evening, the president of the Rush, Lee Genier. So obviously you're having success. Usually when leaders have success, it's easy just to stick to it because this is working, this is happening for us. How did the transition go from success to, obviously you had success in lacrosse, but that's still a change. How did that happen?
Well, I was running our team, and I was approached by our ownership that was out of Edmonton. They flew into town one day, and I thought I was in trouble. He goes, "We need to meet with you." And I thought, what could it possibly be about? And they talked about that, hey, we're thinking about moving the team and Saskatoon. And he asked me my thoughts, and having been with the Stampeders for nearly 20 years, playing in Saskatchewan and absolutely hating Saskatchewan fans at the time. And I said, but they're avid fans. So I thought, okay, they have a great rink, great fans. I'm going to say the first professional sports team, but so it was a good deal. So we went through and won the championship, and then we moved the team here.
So I guess that's the question. So you're running the Rush, you win a championship. Obviously, there's success going on. Why were the owners wanting to move? What was happening? And I mean, I know why you picked Saskatoon because, I mean, Chamber on Tap is in Saskatoon.
It's clearly it's free drinks and free food. How many people are here for that?
Well, thanks to the chamber benefit plan.
Yeah,
so free for us, not for them.
And it was an interesting relationship that we played out of the same building as the Oilers, and the Oilers controlled the building, and it was a lot of politics came into play for sure. So they're building a new building, and they didn't necessarily want us to play in the new building unless they owned us. So we were offered a 1-year lease from Rexall, and as a business owner, you go, for anybody, that doesn't work real well. So that's when we said we made a deal to move the team to Saskatoon.
And that's where we are today.
Yeah.
So when does the season start?
So our first game, we open in Calgary, so which will be real interesting. January 2nd, we play the Roughnecks, and they hate me, so it's good. It'll make for a great rivalry. And then we play back here January 15th.
That's awesome. And tickets are available where?
Oh man, you can call our office. We just opened a brand new office here.
What's your cell number, actually?
It's on the bathroom wall. Realistically, so saskrush.com or 978 Rush, I got that, or Ticketmaster. And that's a big thing for us is moving here is filling the building, because we have an incredibly exciting product. Like if anybody here has not been to a lacrosse game, it's if you've heard me talk about it, it's kind of like a rock concert meets UFC meets Super Bowl, and we're going to put on a heck of a show for the nine events that we have in town. So
I don't doubt that I played that game with those red banana plastic things. Yeah. And that's so much fun. So I can imagine lacrosse.
It's somewhat similar to that.
With my kids. Anyway, so Lee, you've obviously had your hand in a couple different markets, and I mean it's all sports, but it's not the same. You're not selling the same product. What's been similar to you? Like how has your approach been similar in all of those different avenues?
I like to win. Yeah. Winning, I love to win. I mean, I think there's a lot of excitement around sports. I think it brings, you kind of look at, what the Blue Jays just did, brought a country together. And when there was a big hangover when they lost, right? So So I want to bring that same energy to Saskatoon and Saskatchewan, and have something that people can get behind. Obviously, I know the riders had an off season and they'll be back, and we play through the winter. So hot winter nights, and then you can watch the riders in the summer.
Sounds like a good strategy. So you like to win. As the leader now coming into a new market, obviously your focus is going to be the marketing of the ticket sales. Obviously you have some operations, an event team, and you also have your players, right?
Yes.
How do you manage all of those? What have you learned through the past since you were 12? What have you learned that really works? What have you learned that doesn't work? And what are you hoping to do here?
Well, working with professional athletes is always interesting.
It's weird hearing it from the other side.
Yeah, like you got a lot of
Professional athlete. I'm not Lee. I know I look like I am, but I got winded going to the bathroom here. There's like 3 steps. Oh my goodness.
Athletes, are a special breed. They spend their entire lives dedicated to their sport, right? So I've worked with football players, hockey players, bobsled athletes, skeleton athletes, and now lacrosse athletes that dedicate their life to beating each other up and then going back home on Monday and going back to a regular job. So it's managing a lot of personalities. We have an amazing staff that are here tonight that make my life so much easier. Like, I moved here about a month and a half ago, and I have moved to the city, and every one of those people over there, and if I haven't introduced them, have made my life incredibly easy. So it's been, it's been a big transition. And of course, sports, again, is, people always ask me, and it's the emotional attachment. And once you come out and you kind of feel what we're all about, get to meet our players. We have a cheer team of 16 young ladies we just hired, and that will be ambassadors of this team. So.
Looking for a cheerleader coach?
Evan, I thought we already discussed this.
I thought we did too, but you didn't bring that up.
I said you're not allowed within 500 yards of them.
Touche. All right, well that is an wrap for James. So, an interesting part that I've always wondered about, especially in the sports. Sports is kind of like it's almost an exaggerated reality of business, in the sense that there's the leadership administration that is looking at the high level, big picture, where you want to go. You're bringing a new team to the city. So there's lots of things you're looking at. And then you also have the sport guys, the guys that are on the field, in the trenches. And they have egos. They want to win too. They're getting paid. Some of them are the stars. How do you manage the big vision of the team with those, with the idea that sometimes the egos of the players sometimes, because they don't always align. We've seen massive trades in lots of sports where we see that.
Yeah, and I think every sport is different. You look at our team, I think you have leaders emerge on every team that will foster the younger group coming in, because it's easy to, when you're a young star coming in and you're getting paid $17 million a year to play a sport you love, it's easy to have an ego, and I've seen a lot of egos over the years. But I think at the end of the day, everybody has to understand that they're working to one goal, is to win, right? Is have fun doing it, but you're representing, you are a role model. And that's what I always try to tell these guys, that, hey, whatever you do, wherever you go, you're always a role model. Because people look up to you, right? And when we bring the team here, and there was a great lacrosse community in southern Saskatchewan that are going to look up to these young men, that I want to be there in 5 years or whenever that may be, right? So that's kind of the beauty of sports, is that people look up to these guys and say, I want to be that guy.
So now, kind of on the same idea, I'm curious, you've obviously you worked with some successful people, whether they're gold medal Olympians. Doug Flutie is a good one. Is there any common characteristic that you see in that high level, like the champion? Is it a humbleness, or is it a work ethic? Is it a combination? And what differentiates? Good night. That between like the real all-stars and just the regulars.
Well, when you look at the athletes, like some of our athletes, you can tell that they are 100%. I mean, I look at all the athletes I've worked with over the years, from Doug Flutie to Jeff Garcia to Henry Burris to Kaylee Humphreys, Jesse Lumsden, you name it, and they're dedicated. Like, they are 24 hours, the way they take care of their bodies, the way they train, everything they do is dedicated to their sport, right? That's their life, their livelihood, everything they do, right? And you can probably kind of see in some of the, I'm going to say, athletes that haven't been successful. It's a small world, right? It really is a small world of, when you look at the NFL, you have, 500 universities, and how many people actually get to play in NFL. And you look at a story, I'm going to talk about Doug Flutie, a guy that was 5'10", and great story, getting moved around from team to team and being as successful as he was. Wayne Gretzky, so it's I think it's people that, whatever you do, I know there's a lot of people here that are dedicated to their jobs and making things great, and that's really a big part of whatever makes you successful, is that you dedicate your life to that. So
I suspect that's true. I don't sleep for 3 days before a Chamber on Tap.
Yeah.
I am just absolutely dedicated to the crowd. This room is packed, which is a sign of you, not me, trust me. They're getting sick of me. So we kind of talked a little bit too, and I'm kind of going back and forth. That's pretty normal for me. So we know why you left and came to Saskatoon, and there was a rink, right? And there was some great fans in Saskatchewan, which you see at a Rider game. But was there some economic decisions behind that? Like, in the back office, were you talking about Saskatchewan and our economy? Where did you see it? Where do you see it going?
Well, it all kind of plays into it. I mean, we had to come here and cut the best deal we could with SaskTel Center, and the folks, Scott Ford and Will Loftel have been fantastic. It's an NHL building. It's a fantastic building, and I know everybody's probably been in here for a concert, and Amy probably going to a concert there tonight. It's all part of it. I mean, it's an avid fan base that's going to support us. We're launching a brand new jersey next week that is incredibly exciting.
Is it something to do with that, or is that just the old logo? Or
that is a brand new logo.
Look at that. So did we ruin this? It won't be on TV for a week, right?
No.
Let them have their...
The logo's been out there until you come and see the jersey in our new office. We have a brand new office downtown that is kind of going to resemble an ESPN Sports Zone. That is a lot of fun, a lot of energy. I wanted to be downtown where people could come in. We got some interesting items. If you've been around town, we have these giant bears, if you haven't seen them, branded with the Rush. Like, so our
like stuffed bears or real bears?
No, they're
because that could make a difference if people wanting to stop by. Hey, you should come by and see our giant bears.
Well, these bears are about 8 feet tall. One of them resides right now in the Radisson Hotel, which are our host hotel. So if you haven't been over there, I know there's a couple of young ladies from the Radisson tonight. You got to go over and have a look at this thing, because it's fantastic. It's about a 350-pound bear, 8 feet tall, and it's got a Rush jersey on it. You'll see them all over the city, and it's kind of a fun thing. We have a great owner that believes in just picking up some eclectic items. So we own 10 of these bears. We own a giant Hulk that's about 20 feet tall. It's got a Rush jersey on. So if there's somebody that, if you can think where I can put this thing, please help me. If you come down to our office, we have 2 custom-made OCC choppers that just sit in our office. And people come in and go, well, what's an OCC chopper got to do with Rush? And it's just about bringing, it's kind of an entertainment. When you talk about Rush and what we will embody as entertainment every night. So it's kind of like the fire around our product.
So is that kind of the focus for the Rush? Is the brand really more than just the team? It's about the experience for the ticket holder?
Absolutely. Rush, right? You can take, if you look in the dictionary and look up Rush, I mean, when you'll come to our games, when I talked about a rock concert meeting UFC, it is a pretty physical game, but and not that SaskTel Center is that far away, but people seem to think it's a long way to drive. So it takes me like 3 minutes to drive there. And but on our game nights, it's going to start early, and it'll go to 2 o'clock in the morning, kind of thing. So everybody will get to meet our players, meet our dance team, and have a lot of fun doing it as well.
In fairness, Lee, we're in Saskatchewan, so it's not really a far drive, but if there's a zipper merge involved, or if it's slightly even pretended to rain, good night. And the left lane isn't a passing lane here, just so you know. It's actually, I have to turn left in about 10 miles, so I'm preparing.
Well,
So that's why it takes a long time. You'll get used to it. When I first moved here from Calgary, I was like 45 minutes early for everything. I was renting. There's a Blockbuster on the west side. I lived on the east. I drove to that Blockbuster because it was the only one I could. Anyway, I digress. So you're excited about this year. Tickets can go to your website. The openers in January. Is it the same team that you've brought, like the championship team? Did you keep everybody?
absolutely, it is there. We've re-signed the entire team, which is the first time in history, by the way, that a championship team has won. A pro team has moved after winning a championship. So we are bringing a winning team here. So.
And if they need any help with cabinet renovations, I will give a Rush deal from Kitchen Craft Cabinets. I'm just trying to help you keep
Evan,
your talent.
you should be in our office.
Well, I've been telling you that for like half an hour, Lee.
But
Subliminally.
I gotta go back to the zipper merge because I'm driving up there, and I've never heard that term.
I know. I couldn't believe they had to describe merging
Right.
with another word. That's like merging is a zipper merge. Why did we have to add another adjective? I don't get it.
The first day I was driving up there, I was looking. I said zipper merge, and I started taking my pants off, and I was looking at the girl beside me, and I'm going,
Are you good? Are you cool?
So-
You know what? The only thing that we're worse at than merging is flow-through lanes. We cannot get our minds wrapped around a lane that has no other traffic coming to it. We still stop and look. 51st going on to Warman Road, that's a terrible flow-through lane. Good night. There's even signs, but whatever. We had to, I guess maybe we should call it like zipper merging, flow-through. That's obviously not direct enough, so we were like, there's absolutely no one coming, keep going. Maybe that should be the sign. Anyway, welcome to Saskatchewan, Lee.
"Hey, thank
Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thanks for
our
having me.
guests.
Thank you.
Wish you tremendous success this year. And of course, tickets available at rush.com, SaskatoonRush.com,
Saskatchewan Rush.
SaskatchewanRush.com.
SaskRush.com.
Sask Rush?
978 Rush, or on Ticketmaster.
Or come to Hudson's in Saskatoon and look in one of the stalls for Lee's cell phone. Lee, thanks again.
Hey, pleasure. Thanks for everybody.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.